Shalom! Today we're going to be doing an overview on the book of Exodus. From where we left off in Genesis, you will see in Genesis 45:8, in Genesis 50:20, Joseph is going to talk to his brother and he's going to tell them, whatever bad thing that you intended for me, it is all Elohim's purpose. Because in Genesis 50:20 and Genesis 45:8, he said that it is all Elohim's plan to save the lives of many people. And that is an echo of what was promised in Genesis 3:15. When Yahweh told Adam that there is going to be a seed that's going to overcome and defeat the serpent and the serpent's seed. So then here in Exodus, from chapters 1 through 18, we will see how God's going to lead his people out of enslavement, out of slavery. Exodus 1:7 says this, "And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased very much, multiplied and became very strong, and the land was filled with them." So when you go to Genesis 1, this is kind of like an echo of it, because it's obviously not the whole earth, but it's Egypt, right? And here we will see how they are increasing and they're multiplying and they're being blessed. But then there is another serpent. There's this new serpent in the story. And this is in the person of Pharaoh. From the get-go, Yahweh told Moshe, "I'm going to harden the heart of Pharaoh." Because what is the plan? To remove them from slavery, the people of God out of slavery, right? But he said, "I'm going to harden the heart of Pharaoh." But what's interesting here, the word harden has two Hebrew words. One means to encourage and one means to actually harden. So I believe when God told Moshe that he's going to harden the heart of Pharaoh, he's going to encourage Pharaoh to realize, to understand, to know that he is Yahweh. Because that's what he said, so that Egypt will know that I am Yahweh. But Pharaoh is going to be very stubborn. And so he eventually hardened his own heart so that he was not able to listen to the words of Yahweh. And it took 10 plagues for him to realize that Yahweh is Lord. Because on the last plague, the 10th plague, this is the death of the firstborn. This became the deciding factor, the redeeming factor that led Pharaoh to the decision, okay, I'm going to release the people of Yahweh. And then here we will see in Exodus 12, the institution of Passover, where they're going to kill an innocent lamb, take the blood of that lamb and put it on their doorposts, so that when the destroyer will come, it will pass over that house and spare the firstborns of that house. Compared to Egypt, where all the firstborns that doesn't have the blood on their houses, they were all destroyed. And so eventually all the people were released and they were saved. But then they were trapped, right? Because they cannot pass through the Sea of Reeds. But what did God do? He showed his power, split the Red Sea, and saved them and destroyed Egypt in the process, right? Because at first they bankrupted Egypt. They took all their wealth. And then now, when Pharaoh decided, okay, we cannot let them go, he went after them, and then they eventually died in the Sea of Reeds. So, and then in Exodus 15, 1 through 9, we will see here the Song of the Sea, or what we commonly know as the Song of Moshe. In this song, Moshe is going to talk about the redemption of the people of Yahweh, how they're going to be led to the promised land and get their rest, how God is going to indwell, his indwelling presence is going to be with them. But we see in the story how, man is very stubborn. And chapter 16 through 18, we see in their journey, they kept complaining, they kept murmuring, let's go back to Egypt. Where's the food? Where's the water? And they wanted to kill Moshe because of what they're suffering, right? And they don't even remember what God did. But in spite of that, in Exodus 19, we will see how they encamped in Sinai. What's interesting with the word Sinai? When you look at the letters of Sinai, it's Samech, Yod, Nun, Yod. And when you put that together, it could mean mean this: the place where Yah's hand supports life, or the mountain where the hand or the power of Yah preserves and multiplies life. Very cool, right? But in here, in chapter 19, Yahweh is going to propose a marriage covenant to the people. And he wanted to become, wanted the people to become a priest unto him. But in Exodus 20, when God started giving the commandments to Moshe, at the 10th commandment, the people stopped Yahweh from giving the commandments. They said, if we keep hearing the voice of God, if he keeps talking to us, we're going to die. So Moshe, please go up alone and then get everything and ask God, or let God give you everything, and then come down to us and just relate to us what he told you. And we're going to do whatever he tells you. That is what they told him. And so God gave it to Moshe. He even told him, okay, write everything in the scroll, and then put this book, because we know that the 2 tablets were put in the Ark of the Covenant, right? But there is a scroll, a book that was put outside of the Ark of the Covenant. And he told Moshe, this is going to be again a witness against them if they don't follow my commandments. Then in Exodus 25 to 31, we will see that God is going to give them the blueprint of the tabernacle. And when you look at the tabernacle, it's very interesting, because all the symbols involved in the creation of the tabernacle, especially the curtains and the furnitures, you see flowers and fruits and cherubim. So it's kind of like the Garden of Eden. It's a picture of the Garden of Eden. So this is Eden in the wilderness. So it's a picture, it's the presence of Yahweh, where man can come into his presence. Remember, in the garden, man was kicked out of the garden. This time he wanted them to come in, but instead of them, because the next time, the next chapter, in chapter 2, we know the story is about the golden calf, because while Moshe was up on the mountain receiving the commandments of Yahweh, see, the people are rebelling because they told Aharon, give us Elohim. And they wanted him to create this golden calf. And they started worshiping the golden calf. And this is what made Yahweh so mad at them. And even Moshe, because when he came down, because Moshe was told by Yahweh, go down because the people are doing this wicked thing. So he went down because he was so upset when he saw the golden calf, broke the 2 tablets. Right? And God, because he was so upset, he told Moshe, I'm not going to go with you. See? And Moshe pleaded with him, because he said, leave me be, because I'm going to destroy all these people. And let me just start anew. Let me just start afresh with you. But Moshe pleaded with him. And it is in the same chapter, in chapter 33, where he said, Yahweh, if you don't go with us, we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to stay here. So Yahweh said, I'm going to send you my messenger. And he even asked Yahweh, show me your glory. And here, Yahweh did not even answer him the correctly, right? Because he said, this is what he said in Exodus 34, verse 6 and 7. Yahweh, Yahweh, an El, compassionate and showing favor, patient and great in loving commitment and truth. Verse 7, watching over loving commitment for thousands, forgiving crookedness and transgression and sin, but by no means leaving unpunished. So he's not even showing his glory. I believe it is his glory to show his character. His character is his glory. It is his kavod. So when we understand the compassion of God, the mercy of God, we will truly understand his justice. Because without him being just, what happens to man? What happens to sin? Because God's justice doesn't mean actually destruction. What his intention is for man to realize what they've done, how they broke his heart, and he wanted them to be restored. He wanted them to come back and repent. It's the same thing. It's the message that Yohanan, the immerser, was heard talking about when he came into the scene. And when Yahusha came into the scene, it's the same message. Repent and come back. That is restoration. And then we will also see that after in this chapter, right, Moshe is going to go outside of the camp. Because in Exodus 35 through 40, we will see the building of the tabernacle here. But then we will also see that Moshe is not going to be able to enter into the tabernacle. And this is how the book ends. Exodus 40 verses 34 and 35. And the cloud covered the tent of appointment, and the esteem of Yahweh filled the dwelling place. And Moshe was not able to come into the tent of appointment because the cloud dwelt on it, and the esteem of Yahweh filled the dwelling place. Okay, so we know that the presence is there. And Moshe was not able to come inside that, and that is how it ended. So it's kind of like ominous why he was kind of like an outsider. So he was not able to get into the presence, because here we need to go into the next book. And that is what we're going to talk about in the book of Leviticus, because now we will see the holiness of God and what it takes for us to go into that holy presence. So I hope you enjoyed this little study. So see you again next time when we study the book of Leviticus. Bye-bye.